Family, are you ready for some insight into what men are struggling with?
We must face the moment of truth giving.
Let's get into it here at 180 Truth. Family, welcome back to 180 Truth.
I want the truth! You can't handle the truth!
What does a man go through? I'm Dr. Honorio Chaparro, your brother minister, and I came across this video and I wanted to just share it. I wanted to comment it from a gentleman, I believe his first name is pronounced Joaquin Loper. The Stacy and Joaquin Loper, they have an Instagram and a YouTube channel. I'm going to put all that information in the description. But right now, I need you to hit like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, please, so that we can stay in touch, and please comment, subscribe. I want to share this video, please. I want to get into it here with regards to the struggles that men go through. Have had the privilege of doing men's ministry at the Christian Cultural Center for some time, and I really admire when a man steps out of that comfort zone and really shares and bears his heart in regards to his pains, his struggles. And not just a man who is just sharing himself individually, but this brother Loper, he is actually a leader, someone who is invested in the quality of life, of people living a better quality of life, seeing and serving men. Let's get into it without further ado right here at 180 Truth. Thank you for being here at 180 Truth, and I want to encourage you to come on through to simplyaviance.com, get some fresh gear, help me get a cup of coffee. Simplyaviance.com. If you sign up for the first time, 25% off your first order and free shipping on orders of $100 or more. Please, we are a small business out of Winter Haven, Florida. Come through and support the channel. Support simplyaviance.com.
Men out here are struggling. They're struggling big time with knowing who they are, trying to become who they need to be as a husband. They're putting too much pressure on themselves, and then they don't know how to ask for help.
Two key challenges for us men. One is we oftentimes have the wrong kind of, be honest, lack of a better term, measuring stick for who and how we're supposed to be as men. Usually we're not reaching up to God's standards or reaching for His grace. And we are concerned, we are often very reluctant to ask for help. Why? Well, because number one, a lot of times, depending on where we are in our lives, we still perceive all the men around us as some kind of a threat, whether they're even capable of empathizing with us, even really knowing if they can help us. The reality of it is that for men, too many of us still see talking about an issue as a weakness, and really we want solutions, and we don't automatically see that talking about it will provide a tangible solution.
They don't know how to ask their wives or the people in their lives that really need to be there for them. How do I be something that I don't know how to be? Because
yeah, now just pausing here for a moment. I really respect what this brother is saying, but one of the challenges in a marriage situation is that if the brother shares the problem with his wife, well, she's looking to him to provide the solution. If he shares a struggle and she sees a weakness, will she capitalize on it? Will she still respect him? Because for us as men, that's one of the reasons why it's so difficult to share with other men. When we share our weaknesses and our struggles, will we stay respected?
they're too busy trying to be men, and they're already men. Mm-hmm. And that's what's bothered me the most. Mm. And see men struggle like that and just fight back tears instead of just becoming who God wants them to be.
Mm-hmm. Now, again, when he talks about becoming who God wants them to be, the reality of it is, as men, we love our autonomy. We want to be who we think we want to be. So surrendering and unpacking by the Spirit of God with a healthy community of men, what God has called us to be and who and how God wants to transform us from the inside out, that is strange territory for a lot of us. And again, going back to the challenge of autonomy, we don't want to surrender. We don't want to surrender to God. We don't want to surrender to anybody else. We want to maintain our autonomy, even when our autonomy is the reason why we're suffering and we're in pain and we're hurting.
Stop competing with other people and just compete with yourself.
So again, what he said is so critical. Stop competing with other people, compete with yourself. Again, who we're really competing with is the person behind who we were yesterday is what I mean. That's who we're competing against. Listen, competing against others, seeing everyone around us as a rival, that is a challenge because then we categorize men and other people as either superior or inferior to us. And if they're superior, then we feel inferior, and that creates a distance. And if we see others as inferior to us, then that creates another distance. On the one hand, we end up feeling insecure and we put ourselves down. On the other, we feel superior and we get an ego boost. Both extremes are to be avoided. Comparison kills spiritual growth.
I was talking to a new client last night, and man, to see him struggle and fight back the tears of embarrassment, tears of, what he considers failure, it was heart-wrenching. And to hear him use what I told him was an excuse, but it's not an excuse. To hear him talk about how he saw his uncles and his father, commit certain acts, and that's normalized in his head.
That's so important. What he's saying is we struggle because one, we were models or the lack thereof of models, and we imitate those models, and those models leave an indelible mark on us. But then when that kind of living actually fails us, and when we're sitting before a counselor, an elder, a pastor, and we're embarrassed and we're ashamed, we start to question our own worth. We start to question our own sense of, okay, who am I? And the challenge for us is to find healthy models of manhood, men who are walking in integrity, men who are walking committed to their maturity, decisiveness, consistency, and strength of character. And being in a place, it's a good thing that this man here, Brother Loper, he is providing an atmosphere, a place and space for men to be able to come to and to be able to share what's happening in their souls. Wow. Wow. See that struggle to hold it together? Your own pain and the pain of and those you're serving. Wow. Wow. This is really
Why the tears?
Wow. Why the tears?
Yeah. I don't think people really understand how hard the struggle is, especially for me.
Wow.
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like you're all alone and nobody understands you.
Wow.
And when I hear these men talking about it, I relate. And the world doesn't do any justice when it comes to telling men how they should act.
Yeah.
And then the men that are giving those good examples are drowned out by all the popular stuff. Yeah. And then when good men do prevail, they're always accused of being something that's like they're just trying to be different.
Wow.
Than what the world has told them they could be. Yeah. But I'm gonna stand on my ground. I know where I come from. I know what I've been through. And I know my purpose. And that's to give me hope.
Wow.
And for them to desire to be the men and husbands God has been.
Wow. Wow, family. Again, incredibly moving. He knows, and that's incredibly important because that's really what men's ministry is all about. That's really why there's such a hunger, whether it's men reaching out for role models and people we may not like, whether it's reaching out to the men in the manosphere, people like the late great Kevin Samuels or the Andrew Tate and others in that manosphere. Although Tate renounced the manosphere a while ago, but I hope you follow me. Or others like Jordan Peterson and the impact he's had on so many men. There is a hunger and thirst for men to be called into authentic manhood. And we see it. We see the media where the shortcomings of men are constantly put in front of us, whether it's in a cartoon or we in 1 week I saw all these men being accused of things they did in their past. We see over and over again the pain, the hurt of men, especially when things that we took for granted, like patriarchy is told us that's bad. Patriarchy's bad, and so where are the men supposed to go?
Now you know the truth.
Family, I love what this brother said. He said, I know what I've been through. I know who I am. I know my purpose. And so he has a purpose to equip and be part of God's mission to change the lives of other men. So salute to Brother Loper, salute to his family and everything that they're doing. I just want to say that is critical, that we give men a sense of divine purpose. We have to speak into that. We have to also be the place where we want to be, in a place where we add value to their lives so that we win their trust and then they can really share with us their struggles. That's imperative. See, what Brother Loper does and others like him is he adds value to the life of a man. That man begins to trust him. He gets more credibility. And then he opens up. We talk about building safe spaces and we want men to talk. But the first thing is you and I need to add value to their lives. Give them the skills, give them a map, give them a worldview, give them a compass for what they really want in life and how to really achieve it and what's worth it. For as he said, his purpose is so that men would be the men that God has called them to be. Husbands, fathers. That is what our society needs. That's what our world needs. That is what it means also to do discipleship. Make disciples of men.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Family, you know what to do. Hit like, subscribe. Please go ahead and hit that notification bell so we can stay in touch. And go ahead, leave a comment and share this video. Let's talk about it. Let me know what you think about this brother's real talk. God bless.